There seems to be this culture of imitating unique people on the internet, which paradoxically makes everyone else feel unique. But since everyone is doing it, it makes no one unique. And I feel like this applies to one thing in particular: people's opinions. Like, have you ever noticed how whenever something major happens in the world, there's like this in-between period where people start to develop their own opinions. But as it starts to spread on the internet, everyone kind of comes out the other end with something slightly modified. Having said this though, I really don't think it's the fault of the people for not being able to think for themselves, and more the fact that the internet has taken over every single corner of our lives. But I'll get more into that in a bit. Now, this might be a controversial statement, but I really don't think that any of the people who are describing themselves as influencers or celebrities are actually doing any of the influencing. I mean, there's probably a good reason they have no wrinkles on their head, if you know what I mean. And yet, despite this fact, they all speak with this righteousness that you have to listen, which kind of makes everyone take them even less seriously. I actually think the people who shape the public opinion the most are people who come into contact with information organically and naturally, instead of just giving PSAs to their followers as if it was their God-given right. And who are these people? Streamers, podcasters, radio hosts, particularly if you don't have a history in politics. Essentially, if you're not a know-it-all with an agenda, I think a lot more people are more likely to listen to you. In general, if you're righteous with an agenda, then the only people you're really influencing are those who are stuck in an echo chamber and agree, or the Twitter warriors who disagree. Now, bear with me on this one a little bit, but I feel like whenever I've developed an opinion in my life, it's come about one of two ways, which is either educating myself or having some sort of conversation. Now, when it comes to educating myself about a certain topic, I find at least a way more solid position based on facts and logic. But it takes way more time to develop because of the actual effort you have to put into researching that topic. And as much as people lead you to believe they do it, I don't think many people really do it at all anymore. People like to claim that they're well researched, but I'm willing to bet that most of the actual research done is either to argue with people in comment sections or to prove that someone who actually does know what they're talking about agrees with you. Or both. But anyway, the second way that I find I develop an opinion is by having a conversation, whether that be with myself or people that I know. And really, this is the main way that we all develop opinions. It's way easier than researching, and it still gives you that same sense of learning, even though there's a good chance that the person you're talking to knows equally little about the subject matter. Righto, now let's go back to kindy and put two and two together. When you have social media, which is pretty much just a massive perpetual conversation about every single topic known to man, and you have a bunch of people who are just coming across information and then spreading it to their massive audiences, it's kind of like you're having a conversation with your friends. Like, picture this scenario. Your favorite YouTuber does a video in which they come to the very serious and very reasonable conclusion that oxygen is a government-mandated poison and that vaping is the antidote. And then you go into the comment section and everyone in that audience seems to agree with them. I feel like there's a good chance that a seed to believe that kind of theory would be planted in your mind, which would only grow bigger and bigger as you see more and more people interacting with that kind of theory. I actually want to amend the title of this video. Obviously not my actual title, because that will probably decrease my click-through rate, but I really do think people can make opinions without social media. I just don't think that they can keep them, simply because the research and conversation that can be done in real life just can't be compared to whatever social media throws at you. I feel like you can accredit this phenomena that I've just explained to a bunch of different things that seem to happen only on the internet. Rising extremism, more support for social causes, conspiracy theories. I don't know, I can't think of anything else. Social media is a force to be reckoned with. It's the most effective tool for getting your attention. It's the most effective tool for entertaining you. And like I'm pretty sure most of the world has said before me, it's the most effective tool for continually shaping public opinion. As I said at the beginning of this video, I really don't think that this is anyone's fault, but more just a natural progression of life on social media. Before things like Instagram or Twitter, I'm sure you still see a lot of this kind of thing happening, but just on a much smaller scale. I think a really good way to sum it up is that before the internet, there was only a small group of people that you could really have a conversation with, which meant that person to person, there was a lot more nuance in opinions. But now that we have the internet, our friend groups are pretty massive and there's a lot less of that said nuance. So is this good or bad? I don't know, I'm not some expert. I'm just a dude on the internet who, side note, doesn't really want to make commentary videos for the rest of his life. So I'm going to be working on some new videos soon. So stay tuned for that. But otherwise, do what you want with my opinion. I mean, I think it's pretty good because, you know, it's my opinion. But yeah, I mean, thank you for watching. Have a good day. And social media merch coming soon. Okay, bye.